Black power, don't get timid. If I say Black City, I'm talking about Kemet. If I say Black City, I'm talking about Kemet. Primary research and we done pushed it to the limits. All you dudes finished. The king counting cattle up with brother Reggie. When I'm in Oakland, smoking, bro, they love the Chevy. Back in the day, it was the spokes on the chariot. Long procession when the king got carried out to every spot. Woman looking nice as ISIS. I read ancient texts, so my advice is priceless. Nubian gold, your ice don't entice us. Beating me harder than counting grains in your spices. Your heart was beating, but your brain dead, you're lifeless. Yo, they ain't nothing like us, yo. Don't try to make me mad. Make me smile and say you love me, man. That's real right there. Yeah, come on. You should listen to your main man's advice. Do a YouTube, apologize like Dice. On a back fade, coming like the Antichrist. Egyptologists sent me reading and said that I'm nice. I got a speller with your name on it. I'm like Sargon. You the type of dude wake up in your car gone. Told, cause of the money you owe. Before you stream, you should clean up that humble abode. Like Akhenaten City for my woman in gold. I keep the pseudos running, people coming in droves. You catch me on a live stream with Pan-African James. When we building, call us by our African names. I'm for the children. And ain't nothing happen to change. We on that black hype, so we still packing them things. It's for protection. Got connection. My complexion, pure black, that's the S. Make me smile. You love me? Show me some love. All right.
Peace, mic check 1, 2, what's up? How everybody doing? I just tuned in a little late to a Sonetta show where they was talking about the Netcheru. And I just want to do what we do. Look through the text and see how they sing things. And add some of the philological perspective. You know what I'm talking about? I will play this tune and we're going to get right into it. Like the video, say something and comment in the chat so we can get it popping. Let's go.
Yeah, and I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bruh. Thought he was conscious, but the homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh. Alright, it's getting kinda dirty in these YouTube streets. The Amin Ra squad, God thinking you dudes weak. Islam or Judaism, where you learn what you dudes teach. The West African rapper slapping with that voodoo speech. All that sub-Saharan terror about a kufu feet. I'm like Norma, that agricultural farmer that grew you wheat for the storehouses. We feed the Hebrews and lead the people when we defeat the feeble. They wanna know polite rip me off, but Sonetta paid me my money though. That mean he 100. And I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bruh. Thought he was conscious, but the homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh. Nubian with the Jews, I rock the pinky. I think Jesus got to save me, a doctor save me, a Dr. Inky. I cop the copper jewels, I'm blue and red. I'm not the chakra doctor y'all claim woke, but you in bed, you won't pop a chopper, you Grandmaster J. You just talking. Punks turn the other cheek and you will walk away. Y'all gon' have to pardon my Moorish. That's Taharka Bay. I'm on that black African power on my darkest day. And that's my brother Ankh stomping them other punks. We brought them gators to Italy, you loving the Moors. And now I'm teaching from my shrine like brother Jabari. Scoping the savannah cause I'm on another safari. Tasha K showed us Frank record. Young Pharaoh just losing his mind and y'all can't help him. I know one thing, you're a fool if you're still out here donating to Umar school. That shit cool. And I'ma work cause I ain't going out lazy, bruh. Thought he was conscious, but the homie just played me, bruh. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bruh. They crazy, bruh. Look. You showing your hidden colors like Tariq Nasheed. A bunch of pseudo information I don't think I need. Probably lying on the text, ask Divine or Zion Lex. Just get that microphone ready. With Metal Netta, I'm Stone Jetty. A Ujahu, a Saw Imhotep. Y'all probably timid still on them Bobby Hemmett teachings. I'm in Gozy with the DNA. Cats corny and it's killing me too. You talk that black shit, but you look Arab like Gorilla Hebrew. You need therapy, they telling me just chillin', be cool. I'm a magi orchard, you a sad guy talking. And I'm a worker, 'cause I ain't going out lazy, bro. Thought he was conscious, but the homie just played me, bro. The house of consciousness is going out crazy, bro. They crazy, bro.
All right, man. First, let me tell y'all, the tunes you hear are off the album Fights Over Egypt. And you see them fights are still going on to this day. What's up, Stacey Evans? What's up, Immortal Dragon? Carrie. King J Reacts. What's up? Showtime. Babylon Don. Chematology. BC, what's up? Jay Commodore in the building. Thank y'all for watching. Anybody else watching, go on and put up a chat. I don't even think, just like they said, that debate was about, it's going to be about no chakras and stuff. And everybody knows chakras ain't from Egypt. But what Muata asked me in his research, and those who go along that lines, their research is still useful. It wasn't trash. They just went further. I already showed y'all that. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing about what I say, because can't nobody refute it. So also shout out to Brother Jabari, because just like, see, he's a wise man, and I consider myself a wise man, so I can predict what a wise man is going to do. Right? One thing you can predict about a wise man is they're going to get better. They're not going to just listen to you say, you can't read this, you can't read that, and think you're going to be able to say that for 5 years straight. Now, I probably would put some money on what Jabari said, that he could read better than some of the people that was in the chat with him. Because I understand the type of people who think they know enough already, and the type of people who desire to learn more. Right? So if your chief slander towards Jabari was that he can't read the glyphs, that was like Ujahu saying, I don't know the grammar. Then what you gonna say when I learn the grammar? What you gonna say when Jabari learn the glyphs? You're gonna be looking mush mouth. So that's why I never go that route. Like, you can tell, this is what I do. I do go that way because I encourage this dialogue that we have to make all of us better. So I could tell somebody what they need to do in order to beat my argument, in order to make their hypothesis work. You notice half the time I'm dialoguing with people, I'm trying to help them make their hypothesis work, and they trying to think I'm attacking them. Because it's like, no, if you can't get past me, then you damn sure ain't gonna get past academia. So first get past me, and then we could talk. And I'm not saying that to, like, pretentiously. I'm simply saying go find all the people you know who deal with this shit a lot, and then let's deal with it. But I can't just come out my face and give a stance on the Netcheru being real or not real, as that's a highly specialized topic that we all will be able to give a little bit of input and then make a conclusion. I'm leaning on the side of course not. And I look at text every day. I don't know what partner was talking about. Har Win, shout out to you, because it seems like you have some propensity in looking through the text. But I caution against speaking about what happens in the Netcheru so soon amongst people who've been studying it for hella long. Because I don't know what Reggie was doing, but you said some things that just was not the truth. And in the display, like my partner Harwin, who was trying to I think his argument was that the Netcheru were real. And he cited an instance of Taharka having a single stroke under it that he says changes the glyph from a ideogram to a logogram. That's incorrect. That's just incorrect. I'm sorry, but he has a understanding that we should appreciate. You feel me? The fact that he know that much. You could just you could have your car running. It ain't all the way fine tuned. Then you start moving. I'm talking about old school Chevy engines. You moving your distributor around in order to get that thing running all the way right. Some dudes are just misfiring and they on the right track, but they on the wrong train. You feel me? And that's how I feel about some of the help we could get. So I was just starting an investigation. First, I asked for a text. He spoke about an instance of Taharka, and this is a Taharka text here. I was wondering, was this the one he was talking about, where supposedly, even though he was reading the glyphs wrong, there's supposed to be some occurrence of a single stroke behind a Netcheru. And for him, that was enough to let him know that Taharka seen this God as real. Well, I know you haven't read the whole text, though. If it's this text, and even if it's not this text would be useful for you to visit. Because I asked, what Taharka text are you talking about? Is it Kawa 5? And then my phone died. And so I couldn't see what his response was. But first, I'll go to a neutral teaching, right? First, let me get in the right account. I'm gonna go to a neutral teaching from about the glyphs, and y'all can see what he says about the single stroke, because I don't want people to misunderstand this teaching. And then we're gonna go into some ancient Egyptian texts to see how they, how they looked at the gods. So I'm gonna go. Let's see if I can find this video. It's a video we used to watch and recommend on this show a lot. It was from an institution, and it was just basically a scholar giving you the basics of Netcheru. Let me see. I think he was from the Oriental Institute. I'm gonna put Oriental and see what happens. Yep, here it goes. All right, now look. I'm gonna pull this up, and I'm just gonna zoom to what he says about the single stroke so we can see how that'll be relevant to our conversation. All right. And actually, since we're talking about the Netcheru here, I'm gonna let this whole little section play, and then we'll talk about that single stroke. But you'll notice in this, let's just let them talk about the Netcheru for a minute. So I'm starting at Egypt. Nah, that's too long. I'm gonna start right here.
The words of God. So the Medu Netcher. And so you can see here the transliteration on the left. And then in the middle, I give you just this sort of rough way to sound it out. This does not reflect any actual pronunciation of Egyptian. As you'll see in a minute, the hieroglyphic script did not write vowels. So in general, we don't really know all that much about what it sounds like there's more details there, but for the most part, we don't know exactly how the pronunciations sounded, but this will give you a rough version that you can use just to sound out these words. So the Medu Netcheru, literally this means the words of God. And you can see this on a very famous example in the Oriental Institute, the panel of Nefermat, where he says, Sut irer Netcheruef im sesh in sinef. He is the one who makes his gods in writing that cannot be erased. And this middle section, the three flags that you see in the hieroglyphic script, Netcheru here probably referring to the Medu Netcher, the words.
Yeah, I'm gonna
gods,
drop the
or
link, King Jay.
things, the divine writing, the images that he's writing on his stela. And the reference at the end to writing that cannot be erased was reference.
So let's stop here, because I just want y'all to peep how everything always support what I'm talking about. And that's how the truth seems to work. I didn't come to this video to give an illustration of how the ancient Egyptians thought the Medu Netcheru, did not think the Netcheru was real. But read what this says on the screen. He is one who makes his gods in writing that cannot be erased. See, don't you see how well supported I am by the real Netcheru? Like every time I switch to some shit, it prove you wrong. Don't y'all be watching my show? Motherfucker just will put something on the text and it'll end the show. I can just stop right now. It's not my memory. And it wasn't remember when I was choosing what part of the video I wanted to play, and this ain't even relevant to what we're looking for, but something was telling me, just play this part. We play that part and it debunks everything I was just getting ready to talk about. I was going to go through an effort of showing you, no, they make their gods. But the text pops right on the screen. He is one who makes his gods. Now y'all want to see if it really say that? Well, we can read the Medu Netcheru where we see Sut here. I don't know why the T is on the Su, but that's talking about him. It should be dependent on something, but that's Su. This R here is to make or to create. Remember, whenever I say you see that I, and it's just an R under it. So this is to create. Netcheru F, his gods. So it's checkmate right there. Take that, Jabari, run with it. You can source this. The source is right at the bar, and they did. Unless, of course, the ancient Egyptians having the understanding that a man would make his gods in writing so that they cannot be erased. If you want to look at this word make, we got the semantic range of let, allow, create, make, permit, right? So you can change it. He's the one who permits his gods in writing. That wouldn't work. He's the one who allows his gods in writing. That wouldn't work. So you got to go with what works. He's the one who makes his gods. He creates them. That's the. So do I got to prove this further? Just since we stumbled on this right at the beginning of the show. The Netcheru be trying to overhelp, dude. Because when y'all got them wrong and out of pocket like that, they just toss me alley-oops. What was different about it? We all been making these deities and these Netchers. Like, don't you see all of the man-made qualities in Yahweh? Jealousy, envy. Are those supreme qualities? That somebody made that up. And so it wasn't not like that in Egypt. Nevertheless, you have to be clear, I'm not one who argues that this process does not start from human veneration. A lot of the times it does, but we got to say, okay, The process may start like that in particular instances, meaning that Tupac may be a god amongst black people in 250 years. See what I mean? His memory, if remembered that long ago in time, he could be venerated and elevated to a point where people don't know if he was really real or not. You can say that for any great man. That's what legend, all of this stuff goes together. First, you live a great life. Then the legend of the great things you have done are told to others. Then that legend lives on as the way men should lead themselves. Then you become exalted over those men and kind of like venerated in a way. People start to buy into your way. Eventually, those people who knew you in real life dead, but that legend is living on and is going to, if it live on for so long, people won't know if you lived or if you was real or not. So I agree with some of the stuff that good brother Asar put forward about what Theodore Siculus said. He also went further and literally said Osiris was the man. He said that. That's a Greek secondary source, but he said that. He didn't live, he was closer to us than he was to Osiris. Osiris we start to hear about the veneration of Osir about the 5th dynasty. I'm going to tell you this, and you could go do the math. Plutarch and Theodore Siculus was closer to us on the timeline than they was to what the stuff that they was talking about. We in 2025. They was in like 2800 BC. So he closer to us. It'll be another 800 years. Feel me? All right. Shout out to Yuri. He just tossed me an arrow. He said, just read this one. It killed it all. That last one killed it all, but I was coming here to give people an understanding about that single stroke. So we're going to go back to that video, but I want to see what Yuri just tossed us. Straight out the text corpus, we read, the song that is in the tomb of Entef, the justified one, that is before the harpist. The great man is lucky, his fate is beautiful, the damaged journey is broken off. This perfect great man is lucky, his beautiful fate has departed or arranged. Generations fade away and other generations continue. Since the time of the ancestors, the gods who had come into being before rest in their pyramid tombs. Oh, well, that's an interesting one. Now it says, the nobles and the transfigured are buried in their pyramid tombs. Now let's go back to this. The gods who had come into being before rest in their pyramid tombs. Well, someone would say, well, if they rest in the tomb, they might have been a real man, right? So I don't know if that killed it all the way, because they would probably try to interpret it like that. But I got one that even do this better. It's already open. Don't even trip. We got this. It says the nobles and the transfigured are buried in their pyramid tombs. So first of all, the gods and the nobles appear to be two different things. Those who built themselves burial houses, their burial sites no longer exist. Look what has been made of the graves. It says, I heard the words of Imhotep of Hordedev, whose statements are often used to express oneself. See the association burial sites, their walls have crumbled. Their burial sites no longer exist as if they had never been created, literally like those that never came into being. All right, let me see if I read what we're looking for yet, or if it's going to be on these next pages. No one can come from the afterlife to report on their life form, to report on their condition, to conform our hearts until we have hastened to the place to which they have already gone. So you ain't gonna hear from nobody deceased until you die, basically. It says, may you be safe and sound. Your heart is therefore focused on self-forgetfulness, literally on letting the heart be forgotten. This is beneficial to you. Follow your heart as long as you live. Place mirth on your head by dressing yourself in fine linen. Anoint yourself with true treasures from the divine possession. Give the increase to your perfection. Don't let the heart grow weary. Follow the heart and good. All right. Follow the heart and your good nature. Settle your earthly affairs according to the commandments of the heart until the day of lamentation comes to you. The heart weary one does not hear in the lamentation. I think it was that first part of the text that we looked at, but I'm just going to continue it and finish it. Her grief does not save my heart of a man from the underworld. Refrain. Have a wonderful day. Don't tire of it. Behold, no one will ever be able to take his possession with him. Literally, no one causes his things to be taken with him. Behold, there is no one who left and returned. Okay, so we got that part, so we got to go back to the beginning. Well, I still think that this text could kind of be manipulated by those who want to say that, aha, this is proof that they thought the Netcheru were real, because it says the gods who have come into being before rest in their pyramid tombs. So they would say, see? But let's check this text out. I think I got it open on this page. It killed it dead right here. What this say? May Fifi be buried in a place worthy of God and man. Well, the king was the god there. Okay, thank you, Yuri. I didn't get it. Okay. May Fifi be buried in the place worthy of God and man. All I'm pointing out with this one text is that the Netcheru right here is not the Remetch. These is two separate places, right? And I just want us to look at that, but it wasn't nothing that I was on too hot. We're going to keep on sugar. So while I was looking through this text to see what dude was talking about, I had just started, as y'all see, and I'm not reading it at this pace. I'm simply skimming through the text, looking for this determinative with a single stroke under it. Oh, but before that, I need to let y'all get the answer about the single stroke from the scholar. Remember? Yeah, he about to tell y'all so we can all understand it.
This style that Nefermat and his wife Etet had in their tomb at Maidum, where they filled in cavities with this colored paste in their inscriptions. And a lot of the colored paste tended to fall out, so it actually didn't work as well as Nefermat probably intended, but you can see the results here in the panel. And so the Netcheru probably refers to the Medu Netcheru, the words of God. So when you come to a place like a museum like the Oriental Institute or many of the other museums in America that have Egyptian collections, you can obviously see lots of examples of hieroglyphic script on stela like these from the Oriental Institute, the one of Uha on the left, and this third intermediate stela that we'll look more closely at in a few minutes, how the system is put together. You have these different types of signs, and each word is written using a combination.
Now check this out. This is the part that got him kind of confused, and we're going to go over this.
Of those signs. So this maybe simplest way to write words in Egyptian is you can use logograms. So you can use the picture of the item for that item. So for example, upper left, you see an image of a heart, and you can use that. These logograms are often, but not always, used with the stroke. So the stroke underneath it is sort of just to tell you, hey, this is a logogram. So the heart here, and you would read Yib, the Egyptian word for heart. Underneath that, the arm, you would just read Ah, the Egyptian word for arm, the house sign, pair for house, and etc. So you can just use the sign, the picture of the item, to write that word, and you would read it with the appropriate phonetic.
Did y'all notice that? What I need y'all to notice is he's not telling you that if it got a single stroke, it means the thing above it is real. He says that you can read it as a logogram. But that's not just because it got a single stroke. They could still be talking about a fake house in the story. But in the story, since they want you to read this as house, they will put a single stroke. So I don't know what the misconfusion about that was. As a matter of fact, the ancient Egyptians had a way to tell you when things were real. So let's come right here, right? And the word that Jabari and them was talking about was actual. I'm gonna put that in the text. Is the root to our word from ma'at. Right? So check this out. Look what this means. Ma'ah, it means real. Now check this out. To lead, to direct, to descend, to guide out, to lace, to look. This is where you start getting right. Correct, true, or truly, or verily. Well, this is going to start to come from what you can observe with your eyes. You'll see how that happens just by looking through the dictionary. Watch this. Well, you're going to look at some of the other renditions of ma'ah, and you're going to see, look, first, ma'ah means just, right, true. So it also means real, because if it's right and true, but you'll see, a just man, all right, to be correct, to do things correct. Now, eventually you're going to see it just say, even if you look up reality in the Netcheru, which I think I've seen a couple times, it's based on this term, ma'ah. So I want to see how far we get with this. Even with correct line, correct guidance, conduct, but you're going to see how, all right, here it goes. From right things being true, right? Justice, right, order, and truth, but we still need to see how that extends to reality. It is because when you get a ma'ah with an I, which is going to give you to see. So here we got ma'ati for truly. And then the two truths, we all know a truth is supposed to be real, but we still want to see it go further. And we're going to see that at the root of this ma'ah is the fact that you can, because see, I got us on ma'ah. We ain't all the way at the root, but look, truth of the heart is ma'a'ib. Now, see, notice I said ib here because it has a single stroke under it. But it doesn't mean that this heart is real. This is just, it don't mean it's a real beating heart on the ground. This is just a concept of the truth of your heart, ma'a'ib. So what's real in your heart? But let's keep going, right? Until we finally see stuff that reveals more. Well, actually what we're going to do to reveal the most is get closer to the edamon, because this is ma'ah. But what we're going to learn is that comes from a word that just means to see. So then we're going to know they never seen the Netcheru, because they never say they did. Look, ma'ah. Now I'll put ma like our parents, like our mother, right? And watch it say, watch, this is the root to ma'ah. And watch it just be to look at somebody. Let's see how wrong I am in this one. Now look, ma'u is sighting, or one who sees. So this is how we start to get the truth. And it's from observance, what they actually seen. But let's keep going. You see it says sighted, one who sees, but let's keep going. The Ra saw, one whom Ra has seen is Ma in Ra'u. Not one who's seen Ra, let's be clear. But this is what Ra has seen. It's a Sejum NF. This is the verb form for this statement, this name, this phrase. Let's keep going. One who sees that Teti is perfect. Ma'at. See, you would have just thought Ma'at was Ma'at, the goddess. But if we see the other A in Ma'at ain't here, it's just Mat, which means to see in the feminine. Now look, every time you see Mat, it says to see. So if we understand the root to truth is to see, we start to see that a lot of what they thought actually came from observation for the things that they would call real. But notice, we ain't seen that word real yet. So I'm going to just cut to the chase. Because in the text corpus, if you don't know the meta, you can just don't have to do the transliteration. You could come down here and put real. Right? And let's see what how they address what now look at what you have. The same term that I was telling us. It says real name though. And it says Ren Ma'a. See, Ma'a is what's real. So your real name, your name is your Ren. But if I was to say, what's your real name? I'm going to say Ren Ma'a. You see? Because I'm not looking at your name. But the root to Ma'a comes from what I can observe in physical reality. So then we know what they observe, they could tell you. And then we can start looking at the terms and seeing it. When does somebody say, hey, Ma'a Amen or something? See what I'm saying? Like I really seen them. No, these Netchers come to you in dreams most of the time. Thank you. He just put Ma'a. That's reality. Thank you. That is right. So let me break that down. Just like he just put true existence. To exist in truth. So you go when, this is when, right? Let's see if it'll pop up like this. Thank you, Dahoud Pooh. To exist in truth. Look. Truth, correctness, reality, correctness. But what do we see at the root of this? This word Ma'a, which is, we got the papyrus roll for it, but it leads us back to what we talked about earlier, that truth. Now notice it even look different right here when we see it, but let's just read how they're talking about it. It says, his true and trusted service, now if it started with his true and trusted servant, look, there go your Ma'a. So we don't even have to play, right? Because this is the Bach, which is the servant or the worker, Bach F, his worker, Ma'a, true, his true worker. His really, they could be like either he true, like he 100, but this really his worker, right? And now we've got something about what's the throne is? What's the throne is? Oh, they said Niset is. Okay, cool, but we're not going there. A foremost of the place in the house of the Lord, the official great of his heart, one who knew the wish of his Lord, who followed him, each journey of his, one unique in his heart of the majesty and true being, one at the head of the great ones of the royal palace, foremost of the sealed things of the secret place, which is Lord here from the great ones, one who is pleased the heart of Horus that he loved, trusted one. I think the only truth part was up at the beginning. But why is it way? Oh, there it goes. It's way down here. Oh, true being. See? So they talking about dude is a true being, and they have a way to say something is a true being. All right? So if they say a Sar or a Set is a true being, I'm going to say you got a text that goes to what you're saying. Now, it's not only limited to that, right? I'm not saying that that's the only way the only thing we could go off to see how they thought of their Netchers. I got plenty of things to show you. And we're gonna go in the text where they literally was making the gods. And so I'm just from what I know is limited, but they wasn't just like thinking that stuff was just real like that. Now, when you say, oh, they didn't think that was real because y'all on this stuff where you were forced into believing your religion in the way you gotta believe it. You gotta believe everything real or you ain't getting into heaven. They wasn't on that. Straight up, though. You gotta believe everything in that book is real and you've been trained that since a kid. So if you find another practice that what ain't based on that, you like, huh? How could that be? They say make sure a man can fight for what's real or his good cause, his good, that's what they're saying. But do not listen to people who are against him after a man has been called up for his just cause. All right, look, now here you go. Oh, no, look. They say the son of Ra. See, this is the type of text I'm looking for. Look, they say, as surely as the son of Ra, Zoroastrus, lives, I say that this really happened. In order for them to tell you it really happened, what they said, Ma'a. You're not seeing no win Ma'a on none of them pseudo-ass stories. They're not trying to tell you that really happened. Now, all you gotta do is we can keep going. It might be, look, I'm open. I can get shot with my own arrow. Boomerang could turn around and hit me on the next text. But I'm just going on what I know. That ain't really the case. It is that which I have indeed done. So where's the truth in here? The fact that this is existing in truth. So he's saying he did it. Indeed is what they're getting from. I am one who listens to righteousness, who was not partial to the bribe. I'm pretty sure listening to the righteousness part, sejum to the truth. Listen to the truth. Listen to reality. But they calling it righteousness, see? Truthfully. Proper disposal of a dead body. Now, this is even crazy because they talking about disposing of a dead person. But this, I think they're saying proper. The right way, the true way, the correct way. Right? The truly perfect God. Now, let's just stop right here. Because this is the one that y'all want. But you got to know the grammar. See? This won't help you. If you tried to take this one and say that it meant that the God was real, you're wrong. Let me show you why. Because of the grammar. Everybody who watched my show should know this by now. What kind of construct do we have right here? I want to see if somebody put it in the chat, it'll be impressive to the new viewers who don't know we be really building on this page. Cirrhosis is just Simroset from the 12th dynasty, but what it was proven is that wasn't a god. That was cirrhosis they was talking about. And that text also proved when they really want you to know they telling the truth, they say that shit. He was like, no, this really happened. Feel me? And there's also other ways to say that with particles. I would even want somebody to find a U particle, right? Where they say that it's a fact. Let's see if they use the U particle, which says this following sentence is a statement of fact whenever they talking about the Netcheru. Because they don't even got one right here. Notice that, blood. We're going to learn a little bit too much. But let's just look at, thank you. You said a genitive or adjective, which is correct. This has a genitive or adjective in it, but a construct with two nouns making up a genitive or adjective, with a genitive or adjective between them is a indirect, what is it? it's an indirect genitive, are not a bound construct. It is the construct of the two nouns is separated by an adjective of possession. So let's think about that. Remember when we get the adjective of possession, I don't want to mess nobody up, but it just say of or belonging to. So if this is the good God belonging to reality, see, that would cause you not to be able to say that this is an attestation saying that they thought he was real. That's why they went the truly perfect, because they said truly with this. But it says the good God, they say the perfect God belonging to truth. So they saying the truly perfect God. You see what I'm saying? But we couldn't stretch this to say the good God belonging to reality. That just ain't how that works. So I see why they say the truly perfect God. But this is the closest that we've came so far to something saying something about nature and reality in the same sentence. You see what I'm saying? What we got here? It was Ra himself who appointed him as king. All right, look, who really assigned him power and victory. Don't get it confused. We know in the mythology what Ra really does. We want to see them say Ra is real. See, that's how people don't. I do words. Words is what I do. Like, that's really what I do to make money. I put together words. So that right there ain't what we looking for. It was Ra himself. Who is himself? Just, it's going to be like just. See, this is himself. Himself. Well, I don't see the Ra part here. So they must have knew what that was. And so, yeah, okay, that's cool. I'm not mad. King who truly assigned him the power and victory. That's cool. Another remedy for proper removing gray and treating hair, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm not going to just stick on this forever, but I'm trying to show you the type of things I want somebody to show me when they're going to make a claim like that. Right? What is to be said, as his true magic is, you should follow out. What? Let's look at this. Why did they say what is to be said? See, this is a jedek. First of all, when you see the jed with a T on it, you already know the verb class, the verb class has switched. Because the infinitive or the generic verb to speak is just going to be jed. But they put a T on it, and it's starting the sentence, so it's not matching the gender of nothing else. It's the first thing. Therefore, you're going to change the verb class. And I'm going to say, I don't really want to say a participle, but this is what I will say, and it's what a participle does. It implies the entity in the verb. So if it says speaks, then what does this say down here? What is to be said? Well, they did two things. But first I gotta show you why. Since there's not a you particle starting this sentence off, which would let us know that it's a statement of fact, they entertain this to be perspective. A future is not, ancient Egyptian don't got tense like that. So I'd be wrong to say a future tense. But it's perspective like, will he? It's a look into the future to see if something will transpire. But I said this implied the entity inside of the speaking, so let's see if that's true. What is to be said? Well, yes, because that if it's said by someone. But someone can simply say one who says. if you entertain this not prospectively, prospectively is what is to be. See what I mean? You're looking into the future. And so that's what they're doing here when you see this jet app. But this is still just like, if I don't entertain this prospectively, you're still going to say, one who says in, you know what they say, as his true magic. Well, I say in Haka. Now we got this F they left out. This S means something. It's just a pronoun for her, feminine, but in this instance, they're not talking about a woman. So it's like it. Notice how they went. See, they don't always translate things all the way, right? But let's just look at this. I mean, they do it very good, but we African and we see things different. So this Jedet, they're correct with that because it should be, you can look at it perspective because there's no U in front of it. This M is simply the in preposition, right? So they like one who speaks in magic, Haka. Incantations, it, well, why would this it be here? Let's look, watch it say it, or her, or she, or it. See, she, her, but they're not telling you that they're not talking about a woman right now. So if you see this S and it ain't talking about a woman, it's probably it. Right? But let's see if that makes she in truth. No, it's in truth. See, that's what I'm saying. She in truth don't make sense. So let's see. This is like one who says in magic or in Haka, it in reality. Now we got, what's this word? Shep, but I don't know what it means, but we can help because it has a determinative. This is like, it's not, this isn't the jar pouring out something. This is more or less like the top of a lotus pouring out something, which makes me think about pollination. So when I say shep, which I don't know what it means, I'm about to figure it out. Because it says, may one speak or one who speaks in magic, really, in real magic, basically. What is this shep at? Shep at. Let's click it and see. We see it's shep, right? Well, let's see. You don't have to know every word. To flow out, to depart. Remember when I should have seen that right here from the damn lotus flower where the pollen was flowing out and departing? But I just didn't. So you depart. Now we got a term right here that most are not familiar with. This term will be met. I did a whole presentation on this term, right? But since it got this line right here, and then let's see what's after that. All right, man. This is like a secret. Let's see if it says something about secrets, though. Wait a minute. True magic, you should flow out the cross-woven vessel. Nah, that's cool. I'm fine. I'm with their translation. But right here, this met, I'm going to see where they get to whatever they talking about the cross-woven vessel. I know this to either be a seed or death. So let's see. A vessel of the body, a cord of the muscle, a tendon. I could get that. No, I could get that. No, I'm not mad at that. You want to know why? Because look at the stroke they put behind it. See that stroke right there? So I said seed or death, which that word does mean. That's two other. Met also means both of those, but now it just lets you know. It could just be talking about a ligament, a tendon, or a particular body part, which is totally cool to learn, right? And then these is going to require some learning too, because I thought, oh, this is a TU bird. This is a TU bird. Let me go again. So if this is a TU bird, then we got Shetiu. What's Shetiu? All right, Shetiu is what? Well, it's got to do with a body part or something, because here goes some piece of flesh. So I don't know this word either, and you don't have to know. Look, arteries, blood. Okay, I was about to say they messed that up. Crossing or cross over, excuse this little whatever cough developing, but crossing or cross over, they're talking about arteries and blood. We know it's about the body because we've seen the little piece of flesh. Here's the same word in plural with the arm under it. And if we know that this is some artery of that part, this might be something about arteries of the arm or something. To clothe, let's see. Or they say to decorate, to adorn, Well, that's so far from arteries of the arm, but that's just the wordplay. You paying attention to the determinatives, those is complete different words. Look, and they just sound alike. Ancient Egyptians do that all the time. And so, again, I don't mind learning in public as we promote study. This is just, I would call this a we. It's a dependent pronoun, just saying me, right? But sometimes it could be a kui, but it's just a we. So you see the W-I, we, it just means me. You feel me? But it's dependent, a dependent pronoun. So it's going, oh, how did we get into a meta lesson? This ain't what we was trying to do. That's what that is, though. We was coming here to see something else. And I just got stuck doing that. Apologize. Another means for eliminating the skin disease lies heavily. We were observing how they were using this word for existence. Now, I'm not saying that everything that was looked at to be real by the ancient Egyptians was preference with this word or not, but I'm definitely letting us know that we do have terms like that. And we even have grammatical markers like you. If they want you to think something is really real, they say you. So let me take y'all to something, right? I'm going to go to Kim, and I'm going to go to some demotic text. And I'm just popping through the text corpus at things I've seen before. So I'm going to go to the demotic right here and click Kim. And I'm going to take y'all to a text where they're talking about these black cows. And what they're going to be talking about is how they made the gods and how each one came into existence. And if we got stories telling us that, then didn't I click demotic? I thought I clicked demotic. It shouldn't have the same amount of entries. Let me see. Oh, take that off. Yeah. We just want the demotic. It's going to take us to a particular time period and help us to access some different texts. You see, there's only 39 Kims in this demotic, but some of them are bombs. Damn, I feel like I need to just go cough. But let's see. It's not going to translate. If it ever don't translate, there you go. So let me just read this. This is a real matter. This is an administrative documentary text. Was somebody, they were talking, it was some beef over a cow. And it said, you came against me over the matter of that black cow, about whom you said, all right, that was that attestation. Here's another one about a black spotted plow cow, which you gave him in which you marked your name, blah, 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 all right? So peep gang, they just talking about black cows, because I looked up this Kim and I'm in this demotic text. But we're going to get out of administrative text, and it's going to take us into a text that I never used to show you that they thought all the people was black. But I could use it for that too. So here's another one. This is another cow. It's black and it's pregnant and it's stamped with the message mark on the right hind cheek. Right? Don't trip off that. Matt, right? You have leased your pair of calves, black cows, together with their cat. Jordan Lee in Texas is about to play right now. I gotta go watch it. That's my girl, and she about to go all the way to the NBA, WNBA. But watch this. You satisfy my heart with the money for the black cow. Okay, that ain't the one. The money for the cow. We're gonna keep looking. It's probably on page 4. if I remember correctly. My nose itching, excuse me. All right, look. They call this the Black Land, and this really say Kim Ta. So on that, you can say Black Land, right? See, if they say Kim Ta when they want to say some Black Land, then you can never say anything else. That's what I be telling people. But the great goddess whom the Black Land was given, and they wonder, is that black or complete? Black, green, and all right, here we go. Think this the text I'm looking. Yeah, here you go. Look. The men turned into a black bull. I could have used this text for many things, but I read it all, right? And I understood that when I read this text, it don't really say what it say. But look at what happened. The men turned into the black bull. Guess what the women turned into? The women became black cows. But they're not talking about race or nothing. Let's snap into the text so we can see this. Now, I had to read this whole damn thing in its 19 pages, so I'm not going to do it right now. Right? Yeah. Now check this out. What this text is the making, it's the making of the God. So I don't want nobody to be talking to me like I don't look through this and take y'all right to where they show you wrong. Look, you came to Egypt by your heart. Imhotep, the great son of Ptah, he was younger than you. So this saying, let's just follow their story. And if that's Imhotep, it's Imhotep. They saying the son of Ptah, he was younger than you. Ptah earlier, the Ptah the elder earlier. No, be able to, whatever. This is all broken up too much, but it'll get better in a moment. All right, look, he came to someplace in because of the same God. See, this is going to break y'all off. If you say so, he will write it on blah, blah, blah. Then I'm going to open up the chat right after this. So talk for an hour. I'll let y'all take over the show. It says Tepi Hida. I don't know what that is. So Tepi has Diddy. What was this, a person? It is a place name. This is demonic. And he will cause that, right? His foot, he did not give, blah, 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 the primordial ocean, because since he grew old, by placing it in, he appeared in the primordial waters. It's still too broken up, but in a minute, it's not going to be all that broken up, and so we're going to get something from this. Morning, he gave him beer and an ointment in Heliopolis by sitting. See, y'all going to argue, that really happened. Look, they was in Heliopolis. Right? With Hathor, the mistress of the sycamore, with him. He said, land as the name of Memphis. Right? He was looking for or desired. He created 4 of them with a snake's head. So this is Ra creating the Netchers. I'm just saying. This must be what they thought if this what they wrote. But let's watch. It says how you had cat, and this is broken up, so it's gonna start listing who he made. He himself reached her blank in Memphis earlier, giving birth in turn it is. It's hard to understand this because it's all broken up. The man he made, but it's not going to be broken up in a minute, so bear with us, right? So he poured into, and that type of pouring, it says in one of them, it says, the water of Amen and Amenet, what he said them enough. So y'all think Amen and Amenet is real? But right here, Ra is making them. But watch, it's going to get even better. Because when we can finally start reading the text and it ain't broken up, you'll be able to understand it. In the water Amen and Amen et, what he said to them another time is what he called them. So what he said to them is what he called them when he made them. Amen and Amenet. So they tell you what they thought and y'all don't want to believe it. By uniting with those who had already united, by becoming one with the gods of the old God, by joining with those who make up the 10 names, and by being with them, they originated or were in the water of the darkness. Now watch this. This is what I believe. I don't believe nothing y'all say on YouTube. Because that's what they say. They, Amen and Amenet, came to them, the primordial gods, to create more abundant splendor than the splendor that had been created until the heavens were lifted up. Do that sound like a real person? Let's keep going. By when he, Ptah, created the great sun disk, which was not yet on earth. Y'all tripping. Talking about the Netcheru was real. The rays and the, now I don't disagree with y'all completely, but the people who know the high science, I know what y'all saying, but the cats who trying to say it like Jesus and stuff, you just got too much Christian perspective affecting your studies. Everything don't gotta fit into the Christian context. The rays and the gods of the Agdu God by understanding how to create much splendor. Now watch about this creating splendor. Just trip off the creating splendor. Now watch this. He calls the gods, he calls the gods of the old God to land in Hermopolis, by your specification. Now look, black and green, the colors of the bulls and the cows was called for. You're not gonna understand that. Peep game, this green ain't even green. We know that this is the speckled color, but they don't know this. That's why they got the question mark. That could be green, but I think they talking about the speckled cow and the black cow. The colors of the bulls and the cows that were called for. Now watch this. He said, and this is when it get good, because we told y'all, Brother Reggie the bomb. Brother Reggie told y'all that if we understand the cattle, we can understand Kemet. And we can understand why they called themselves these bulls, the Kemet. Now watch this. I never even whipped this out. Because of what it leads to ultimately, but it's good for this context. So now, who is this saying this? Is it still Ra? Yeah, it's Ptah. He created the great sun, which wasn't on earth, the Ras and blah, blah, blah. He calls the gods. Now look, now watch what he do. Black, green, the colors of the bulls and the cows. Now look, this is Ptah. He said, Jedef, he said, may the 4 bulls unite. All of this is broken up, so we don't know if it's really there. May the 4 cows unite. Now watch what happened. May they unite immediately. So that's them being created, by the way. If you go through the story, they're not even there yet, but let's just keep on continuing and watch what happens. So this is Ptah uniting the bulls. Y'all think this is real? Fine. Now look. This is the part, oh, I'm tripping. I'm not showing y'all the screen. You just looking at me. This is the part I want y'all to see. And I never exploited this text. The men turned into a black bull. So when Ptah was making these Netchers that y'all argue is real, how did they turn into a black bull? But we understand, this go with what Brother Reggie teaches about them becoming divine of the tribe of Kemet. They came, this is showing that this black bull is divine, as he made these first gods that he was creating, Ptah, they turned into the black bull. And the women, now look, see, it don't say men, it says Ka. It says the male cattle, the male bull. See, Ka Kim. And where do it say men here? Ain't no men here, and it ain't no woman here. Where is woman? That's not woman, dog. Dude. So this is what they're trying to do. Look at this. They taking this him at, okay, that's woman. I'm not against them. You want to know why? This is demotic, and I can't all the way act like I can read demotic text. This is the 1st century BC, so they must have they got this new word for woman. But I know all of y'all who read the glyphs, y'all can see what's happening here. So let's show the people what's happening with this new word. This, at the root of this word is an H and an M. Now in the H, and M, and a T, but you see in the Medu Neter we read is Middle Egyptian. You got the most abundant documents. If you take a H and an M in Middle Egyptian, it means